Let's talk about Dragon Age, the Veilguard, shall we? I think we should. Jay's favorite game.
I've been watching Az from Heel vs. Babyface play it. It's been quite the entertainment for me.
It's been quite the entertainment. Well, apparently not everyone feels quite as entertained as you do, Jay. There's been significant backlash towards Dragon Age, the Veilguard. A lot of fans of the franchise, a lot of gamers in general, essentially saying this is what we thought it was. With a lot of the clips that are coming out, a lot of the gameplay we're seeing, especially involving these unavoidable conversations with your companions. It's not based on decisions you're making, but shit you're forced to sit through, especially when it comes to pronouns or misgendering or non-binary quests, all this stuff about transgender and non-binary acceptance that is baked into Dragon Age the Veilguard. And you can see over on Metacritic, some people not super happy about it. A 3.8 right now over on Metacritic. And there's people that aren't happy that people aren't happy about it. And that, of course, would be the mainstream media. Look at headlines like this. The Dragon Age review controversy shows how much YouTube and Twitter have poisoned video game discourse. And this is by Nathan Grayson, who, man, that name has popped up a lot in the last decade worth of gaming discourse, hasn't it? And it shouldn't be a surprise that Access Media members are not happy when normal people are allowed to speak their mind on games. When people can just make a YouTube channel, put out their stuff, and people might actually listen to them, or people can talk about things, put out these clips on Twitter instead of just getting their information directly from the IGNs of the world. Yeah, I can see how a lot of people in the Access Media would have a problem with that, with gamers actually having a voice and getting to push back against the narrative from these gaming journalists that are in the pocket of the developers. And when you look at what happened over the weekend, Dragon Age the Veilguard, not Dragon Age Inquisition, Dragon Age the Veilguard had its peak over the weekend, and that is likely the highest it's going to get at just under 90,000, which this is certainly not a Concord level flop or anything like that, but this is a massive game, BioWare's biggest IP. The first time that BioWare has ever had a actual day one launch on Steam, and for a lot of people, they were thinking this has to at least crack 100,000, right? And even that probably wouldn't be enough to end up making this game profitable by the end. We still don't know what consoles are selling. We still don't know a lot of the numbers of what BioWare has sold so far. But certainly a disappointment, especially when you consider that Baldur's Gate, an adventure RPG that's been out for over a year right now, is consistently outdrawing it, at least on Steam. Had over 100,000 people playing yesterday, more people playing right now than Dragon Age the Veilguard as well. And you can have a ton of different comparisons, whether you want to look at those all-time peaks. Think about Starfield. Its all-time peak was 330,000. That seems like a long time ago, too. But definitely a little bit of a tepid launch, a disappointing launch for what BioWare needed to be a breakout smash hit. And it's something that's struggling to stay in the top 20 of the Steam charts. But what do you think about all this, Jay?
People are tired of this crap. Shout out Young Rippa in the chat. I see you. But people are just tired of it. They don't care. They don't want to buy that. Who wants to buy a game where you get preached at? Who wants to play a game where people preach to you and tell you how to properly, maneuver pronouns and things like that? Who wants that? Just other weirdos, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. Even like watching Az play this game, it's like, okay, we play a little bit, and then it's like, we're going to preach to you. We're going to preach to you. We're going to, it's like, nobody wants to sit through that. I don't think so. That's why nobody cares about purchasing or having anything to do with this game. Escapism is truly dead with these people. They want everything injected to modern day politics, and they want everything gay. That's all I have to say about that.
You're saying you don't want to sit through this? I think the laugh track helps a little bit.
Here, vegetables.
Thank you.
So, I'm non-binary.
What does that mean?
It means I don't feel like a man or a woman.
If you are neither a man nor a woman, then what are you?
Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on.
This is because I have criticized your dress or your manners.
It isn't.
I can't believe that's in the game. I can't believe that's in the game. It's like they're not hiding it no more. They don't care. These activists have like, they're just like, this is our last thing. We got to get in. We got to get it. We got to push this. Nothing's working. Nobody watches Star Wars anymore. Nobody watches these shows where we're pushing this message. Let's just get it in the game and just push it on through.
Like,
I can't believe this.
Josh might end up being like one of the worst characters in video game history, to be honest with you.
I can't believe it.
And it would be one thing, I'll say this again, it would be one thing if you had a ton of different dialogue options and this is what you wanted to do with your character or whatever, for the couple freaks out there. That's not what this is. This is, you're not involved in this conversation. You're just sitting there, right? You're not driving this. This is, you are forced to go through this non-binary acceptance plot. And this fucking freak needs to be essentially validated every step of the way in this game. It's pathetic.
The term for one whose gender does not match the one given to them at birth was a cuniflock. Perhaps you are like that.
Why do you have to keep picking at it? Why can't you just be happy for me?
Evitash, chakra to ebra.
Even if I don't feel like I fit, even if I feel wrong?
No, you misunderstood. I will go. Thank you for inviting me to your home.
Game director, male, Corinne Bush. And this is, again, this is what happens because what does this feel like? This feels like somebody who's non-binary or trans or some shit like that and had a bad experience coming out to their parents that are putting it directly in the fucking game. Set in this fucking fantasy world. Because that's what's happening right now. It's pathetic and it's cringe and people don't want this dog shit in their games.
Well, even speaking about, I believe this is the same game. This is the dialogue. Eric July tweeted this out. Some of the dialogue. You'd have to kill me. One of the responses is, oof.
Yeah, I saw it. Oof. Is that Ripa's character? That looks like Ripa.
Oof.